Hello everyone. Those of you who are familiar with my channel and what I've been doing recently will know that I've been playing quite a lot of Arma 3 Desolation. Unfortunately, there's been some controversy recently. It started yesterday, the 1st of February, when DeadCert was doing a stream as he normally does, and Optix, the developer, got in touch with DeadCert because DeadCert actually hosts the servers, and told him that Frankie on PC in 1080p and Sada Plays were playing on the server, and that Sada had sent him a message asking if they could be geared up and teleported to the same location. Now, if any of you know DeadCert, he plays completely legit. He's very passionate that people should play the game as it's meant to be played, and I'm with him on that. So he didn't take too kindly to this, and said that you can see the conversation on the screen between Optix and DeadCert, because DeadCert took a screen print of it and publicised it. So what transpired, I don't know exactly how, because I think it must have happened later on, is that DeadCert took the servers down. So he's not going to, because he basically said, he said in his stream, not in my community. YouTubers should not be getting special treatment. They should play the game like everyone else. And I completely agree. I've seen videos up on YouTube saying Frankie got the servers taken down. That's complete misrepresentation of the situation. Frankie had nothing to do with it. Frankie just did what he normally does. He goes on servers, they gear him up. That's been par for the course for quite a long time. So he wasn't doing anything that was outside the norm for him, but because it was DeadCert who was hosting the servers, DeadCert said, no, you fix this, because Optix had already geared them up and teleported them to the same location. And his defense to DeadCert was, well, I haven't given him end-game gear, which is missing the point completely. So some people are, as I said, some people are saying it's Frankie's fault. No, it isn't. I don't happen to personally be a fan of Frankie, but they're wrong if they're saying that this is Frankie's fault. It's not. He, as I say, he was just doing what's normal for him. But I wanted to make a point, and I think DeadCert has already made it when I was watching his stream, and well, he kind of alluded to it, but he didn't kind of go into great detail. Now, Optix's defense was that if he's helping someone make a video, he doesn't see anything wrong with it. Well, there's people who see Frankie's going to come on the server and play for a couple of days to make a video series, and then he's going to walk away. Now, there's people who are playing on this server every day, or these servers I should say, every day, and it's going to affect their experience on the server. Because if you've got people being teleported to different locations and given gear, they could end up killing players who've been, supporting Optix's development of this mod, and that's not on. That's wrong. So I'm going to go through this. So it started with Optix messaging DeadCert while he was playing. I was actually watching the stream. Frankie and Sada are playing right now. Haha. So DeadCert says, oh yeah, where? And Optix says Podgorsk 6, which is the EU Podgorsk 6 server. So Deadset says, how do you know? Optics. Sada sent me a message and asked if I could port them to the same location and give them a bit of equipment. And in-game they spoke to me via direct, by the way. So Deadset, ? Dude, that's kind of, dubious. Teleporting and given weapons. WTF is the point of the game, which I couldn't agree more. So Optics replies, they don't have good weapons. I think it was AKs, things like that. Well, better than a lot of other people have got. So they don't have good weapons, first of all, and second, if it's for the purpose of potential recording, I am personally fine with it. Well, he's talking to someone who's actually recording and doing a stream, and has been a big supporter of the mod, probably the biggest supporter of the mod. In fact, the fact that he's hosting the servers, the biggest supporter of the mod. So Deadcert replies, then they find them. In other words, like everyone else. And Deadcert was talking in his stream. He was saying he was really angry about it, and he also said, not in my community, because he's hosting the servers, so it's his community. And he's streaming it as well, 3 times a week, for like 6 hours at a time. So Optics says, come on, don't be so bitchy about it, and then puts a kind of smiley to kind of feels passive aggressive to me when you say something harsh and then you put a smiley on the end. It's just one time, and if it gets us a lot of players, no. I mean, it's advertisement, and that is needed. So Deadcert is obviously quite dubious and says, and who else has this been done for? No one, since no one else asked. New servers are on the route are working fine now. That's kind of by the way. So no one else has asked, and there have been YouTubers played this mod, and they haven't asked for anything. The only people who've asked are Sada and Frankie. So Cert says, I hope you didn't do it. And Optics puts two full stops, in other words. So Deadset says, sort it now. Tell them they have to play like everyone else. So Optics says, I told them this was an exception. If you make exceptions like this, it's a precedent. And if you make a precedent, it can only go downhill. It's kind of like the thin end of the wedge, a slippery slope. If that's enough, please don't get pissed at me for something minor like that. It's not minor. It's not minor for every other player on the server, or servers, who've been playing on them for weeks, months, weeks. So Deadcert says, kill them off, tell them to play as players, in other survivors, gear up like everyone else, which is kind of what he was saying in the stream. Optics, dude, I know this is nothing that you support, but if I think it is okay to support someone who wants to help me, that I have the right to do so. This is an exception and nothing major. I feel that you're exaggerating a little bit too much. Firstly, Frankie has no interest in helping the mod. He's interested in making content for his YouTube channel. End of story. The reason I say this is because otherwise he would have. I don't think he would have asked for anything. He would have just played the mod and like everyone else. But as I say, Frankie isn't at fault here. And when he says it's nothing major, it is something major. It's major to every other player who supported this mod by playing on the servers day in, day out, because it does. You bring someone in who's not legitimate, and I don't mean Frankie himself, I mean the fact that you've given them gear and you've teleported them so they don't have to actually do the work themselves by running to meet each other. I feel like you're exaggerating a bit too much. No, I don't think he was. Now, the question is, did Dead Cert overreact? Maybe. I don't honestly know, because I don't know what transpired after this. I'm guessing there was a conversation that went on between Dead Cert and Optix after the event, because Dead Cert shut his stream down. So I'm guessing that, from what I can make of this conversation, that Optix didn't want to back down. He wanted Frankie on that server. He saw, the kind of DayZ mod scenario where people watched Frankie's videos and said, I want to play this game, me included. So then I guess Dead Cert said, right, I'm taking the servers down. So I don't know what's going to happen. If you go to the Optix's website, there's nothing on there except for a video by Dead Cert saying why the servers were taken down. So I don't know if well, I've heard from some YouTubers that the server's going to be back up tomorrow, but they're not going to be hosted by Dead Cert. They're going to be hosted somewhere else. So I think that Dead Cert's hosting was really good quality, because if you watch my videos, you can see the FPS in the bottom left hand corner of the screen. It is obviously added by the mod in a more recent update. They were obviously high-end dedicated servers, which aren't cheap. So my concern is, one, do I still have a character? Is it still got the same gear? Two, is the hosting going to be any good that comes next? So that's the situation, and I have to say I'm really disappointed in it. I've really enjoyed playing this mod. I want to continue playing it. I went to log on last night and no Desolation servers. So I don't know what the situation is now. I haven't checked. I could check now, but I'm not going to. I'll check later on. But also, it's a shame, because I've enjoyed watching Dead Cert's content of him playing the mod, of him streaming, because I think he's one of my favourite YouTubers. I like his play style. I like his sense of humour. I also like his modesty. So I'm guessing it's probably the end of him playing Desolation. I don't know. But like I said, I agree with him that YouTubers shouldn't be getting special treatment. Any YouTuber, doesn't matter how big or how small. If you're going to play a survival MMO, you should play it, not play for 5 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever to get the footage you want and have it pretty much guaranteed, or at least made as easy as possible, when other people are gearing up and playing it legitimately. So, well, that's my thoughts anyway. Please feel free to put your opinions in the comments section. So, in conclusion, I'm not placing any blame for this on anyone. I don't think Frankie did anything wrong. I think Optix was wrong to actually say yes to gearing them up. Whether Dead Cert overreacted remains to be seen, because I don't know what happened afterwards. I don't know if there was a conversation that went on afterwards that Optix wouldn't budge. From the person who supported him more than anyone else. Even hosting the service. So, well, anyway, Thanks for watching. Please comment, rate and subscribe, and I will catch you soon. Bye for now.